So Splice Sounds to me is one of those products like Uber or Spotify. It's like, how did no one think of this sooner? So after using it for a couple of years, I wanted to share with you the pros and the cons so that you can make your mind up as to whether it would suit your music production or not. That's all coming up. Hey, how's it going, guys? It's John Holt here with The Audio Journey, helping make music production accessible to all. And here on this channel, what I do is a variety of music production tutorials, mainly focused towards beginners and beyond. So if that's something that you might be interested in, then definitely consider subscribing. Now, this is the first real product review that I've done on this channel, so I've always maintained that if I did some sort of product review, I'd want to be really upfront with you about my relationship with the brand. So here are the 4 questions that I'm going to clear up and answer for you straight away. Firstly, did Splice ask me to make this video? No, they didn't. Secondly, did Splice pay me to make this video? No, they didn't. 3, did I get the product or service for free? Nope, I've always paid for Splice Sounds. And finally, do I get money by referring you, like through a link? Do I earn commission by recommending Splice Sounds to you? And yes, I do, through affiliate marketing. And if you want a little bit more information about that, then down in the description below, I've added some details so you can go and check that out. So here's a really quick overview of what Splice Sounds is. It's a subscription service where you pay a small monthly fee, either $8 or $15, which we'll come on to in a moment, and you get access to millions of really, really high quality samples that you can pick and choose, sorry microphone, on an individual basis. For that subscription, you get a certain amount of credits, either 100 or 300 at the time of filming. And what those credits allow you to do is they equate to 1 sample. So if you wanted to download a kick drum, that's going to cost you 1 of your 100 monthly credits. You can also get synth presets for synths like Serum, Massive, Silent, and things like that. And those presets will cost you 3 credits. And the cool thing about these credits on Splice is that they roll over every month. They don't get wiped at the end of the month, so they just stack up and up and up if you don't use them, which you'll rarely use 100 credits in a month, at least the way that I use them. So that's a real benefit of Splice. That's an overview of what the Splice Sounds subscription model looks like. Now, while you're watching this video, guys, be sure to drop down into the comments below and let me know where you're currently getting your samples from. I'd be interested to hear that. So let's jump in and have a look at the Splice Sounds website from the members area. Now, I'm going to go through a little bit at the end about how you can sign up, get a free trial and whatnot. Yeah, this little bit is from the members area. So this is the Splice Sounds homepage that you see when you log in. And the first thing that's going to prompt you to do when you sign up is to download the Splice desktop app. And you need to do this so that the samples that you download can come into the right folders, basically. So this is what the Splice desktop app looks like. And these are the samples that I've downloaded that I can sort of listen to here. So you can listen to your samples there. And these options will come onto in just a moment when we talk about how to get your samples into Ableton from here. But first of all, let's have a look through how you can sort of narrow down what you're looking for. So let's say I'm making a house track and it's in F# minor, which is a common house key. I want a vocal to fit into that key. So let's jump into the search and see how you can narrow that down really precisely to find exactly what you're looking for. So let's just search vocal, and then you come to this section here, which is where you can really specify what you want. So we said we were going for F# minor. Instruments, we want vocals. We can set the BPM, so let's go 118 to 128. And you can also pick a genre. So let's go for just house. Cool. And now everything that we've got here is a vocal that's in the right key, that's the right tempo range, that's the right genre. That was really, really quick and simple. And then we can preview all of these samples to see what we like. What you wanna do? Yes, y'all, and we don't stop. Yes, and we don't. So once you decide on a sample that you like, you're going to come over here and hit the download button, and that's going to tell you that you're going to use 1 credit for that download. So let's say I want to go for this. Let's hit the download button. Cool, now that's downloaded. So now let's have a look at how I would get that into my session in Ableton Live to be able to work with. So here I am in Ableton, and what you'll see over on the left hand side is that I've set up a Splice folder. And the way that I did this is I opened up the Splice desktop app, which you can do from the top just here. I went into the preferences, and it tells you where Splice is going to download these to. So I'm going to do go to folder, and it shows you that it saves it in users, John Holt, Splice. Awesome. So the way that I got that onto the side in Ableton is I went to add folder and basically followed that file path, and then click on the Splice folder and click open. I've already got it on there, but if I didn't, that would have added it just down at the bottom here, so that you can really quickly just go to that Splice folder. Now the sound will have been downloaded into this folder. Now this is one of my only grievances with Splice, is that personally I can actually remember what the name of the pack was. I think it was called like G House, something like that. But you have to remember that. So let's go into Sounds, and no, it wasn't G Tech House. So now I have to go back to Splice to remember what folder, what the Tech and G House, that was it. So where's that? Tech and G House down here. And then you have to go through quite a lot of folders doing it this way. There is another way which I'll show you, but this way you do have to go through quite a lot of folders to find what you just downloaded. So there we go, that's what I just downloaded. And then I can just drag that into Ableton. And start working with it however I want. I can put it into a sampler, I can put it directly onto an audio track, I can do whatever I want with it from there. There is an easier way to do that, so let's undo that. You can, go to the Splice app, which you can open just up here, and this is the sample that I just downloaded, and you can either do open containing folder, which is going to take you directly to that, and you can drag it in and start using it. Or the other way that you can do that is, let's click on here, you can copy to clipboard, and then I know a lot of people in Ableton like to work in the arrangement view, so we can come into the arrangement view, and that copied the sample to the clipboard, the button that we just pressed. We can do paste, and then we've got that sample in there to work with. Now, if you want to use this method of dragging it in from here, then you need to be connected to the internet. And that's a key point. So that's why they offer the other way of going in through the folders. But this will only work, I believe, if you're on the internet. So that's why I have this folder structure set up, just so that if I am working in a car or a train, whatever, then I can still access all the samples that I've downloaded. You don't need to be connected to the internet in order to do that, which is really cool. So why should you be using Splice Sounds? You've maybe already got some sample packs. What benefit are you going to gain from this? Well, as I said, I've been using it for a couple of years, since before I even started this YouTube channel, to be honest. And these are the things that I've picked up on that you really do get a distinct advantage over using samples from packs like Loopmasters, Sample Magic, which I love, and there's definitely still a place for. Splice has some definite benefits over these, and these are what I think they are. First of all, we've all been through that process of looking through the demos of a sample pack on something like Loopmasters, and we're like, yes, I really, really want that sound, but it's only a few sounds or a group of sounds or a loop that you want from that pack, and then you have to pay 30, 40 pounds, however many dollars for that sample pack just to get those sounds. And I don't think I'm unique in saying that I don't think I've ever downloaded a sample pack and said, yeah, like 80, 90% of this pack I'm going to use in everyday tracks, and actually do that. So much of a pack just sits there unused, and it's a little bit of a waste of money. So it's really nice in Splice to just be able to go, I need a vocal in that key at this tempo, bish bash bosh, got it, carry on working. It's a really quick workflow, and you can get really specific on the samples that you want and just pick out what you need, and it's much cheaper to do that than it is to buy a whole sample pack in order to do that, and that takes a lot longer as well. That's a fairly obvious benefit, but one of the more sort of hidden benefits that I feel apply are, if you're a producer that likes to make a diverse range of music, then it's really, really helpful. And an example of this is, I was struck by a bit of divine inspiration to make a hip hop track recently, and I'm a tech house producer. All of the sample packs that I have are based around tech house. So I didn't have any drum loops that were to do with hip hop, or any real samples that were suited particularly to making hip hop with. But all I had to do was jump on Splice, search for some hip hop samples, got some good drum samples, got some loops and stuff that I could use for inspiration, and I was up and running, and I didn't have to spend a penny more than I normally do to be able to do that. And that was so helpful. I managed to get like a decent bit of a hip hop track down in less than an hour using this stuff from Splice, going from having nothing. So if you're one of those kind of producers who will go through phases of making different kinds of music, and you don't want to spend like a few £100 getting set up with decent sample packs in each genre before you can actually start making stuff, then this is a really, really good option for you. Another thing that's really handy about it, which I experienced, is if you're working on audio projects that aren't necessarily just music production, but maybe sound design and stuff like that, then it can come in really handy there too. And an example is, for university, I've just had a surround sound assignment where we had a piece of video and we had to do the whole soundtrack for it, including, we were allowed to use samples. We had to do some of our own recordings as well. But there were really specific sounds that we needed, like a plane, like an elevator door opening, like a sheep, like a phone. All I had to do was type that into Splice, and you wouldn't believe, like, so many plane samples came up, so many like elevator door bell opening samples came up. Like, it made that assignment so easy in terms of finding the sounds that we needed. And that can apply to such a wide range of sound design and Foley and other music production projects that you might come across, like video production. It's so handy for that kind of stuff, which when I signed up initially, I didn't really see that benefit, but then I was like, damn, I could have a look on Splice for this kind of stuff, and there it was. So that's another real big benefit of using Splice. Now the cons, as I mentioned earlier, the file structure in that sort of offline way of getting the samples into the DAW that you're working in is a little bit clunky, and I understand that that's how it's structured at the moment, and it makes sense to sort of download something from a pack and go into that pack and grab it. But if that could be a little bit more streamlined, I think it would make the process a little bit easier. Obviously there is an alternative, so it's not the be all and end all, and most of the time I am connected to the internet, so it doesn't really matter. But that was the only real con, aside from the fact that not all of the samples that are on the Splice library are available in the free trial, which I came up against when I got the free trial. I was a bit like, but in the end I just dived in, signed up for the $8 a month one, and that's what I've had ever since, and I've been incredibly happy. I've had absolutely no complaints since then. So just a quick recap, Splice is an incredibly good tool if you want to be able to pick from millions of different samples that are really high quality, and a lot of these samples are on sites like Loopmasters and Sample Magic anyway, so it's just a really quick way to like dive in and get specific ones that you want using their really good search features. It's great for producers that make a diverse range of music, and it's also good for audio engineers that don't just work solely in music production but might be doing sound design, Foley and other bits. It gives you a really broad range of some really random samples that you can pull out and find some absolute gems in. So guys, down in the description below this video, there's a link that you can click through to go and sign up for a free trial of Splice. And to recap, it's either $8 a month at the time of this video for 100 credits, and I think $15 for 300 credits, which I don't think I personally need that much. I've only ever used 100, and a lot of other people have. So yeah, you can make your decision there. I just wanted to make you guys aware that the link that you're clicking through down in the description is an affiliate link, and that means that I make a small commission if you go ahead and sign up for a trial through that link. Now, it doesn't make a difference to the price to you at all, and there's some more details down in the description about what that means, but I would really appreciate your support if you wanted to support the channel in that way. As I say, no extra cost to you, it comes away from the manufacturer, but yeah, just wanted to make you guys aware of that. So there we go, guys. What I would really like from you is if you could hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video and if you got value from it. I'd really appreciate that. Now be sure to check out the show notes just down in the description below for some bits that might have been missed out of the video. And I really hope to see you guys here again soon. Take care.